Alright guys, welcome to yet another episode. We are still continuing with the letters that people have sent to me by email. I will read the stories and try to answer the questions that they asked me in these letters. I would also seek your opinions on how they can resolve whatever issues that they have in these letters. Feel free to send me a story or a letter through the email drdanimeza@gmail.com, and then don't add any name to this letter or story that you sent to me. Alright guys, so I would read today's letter to you. Dear Dr. Dan, I am a 35-year-old mother who has given birth to an autistic child in Nigeria. This is my first and only child. He is 6 years old now. Giving birth to this autistic child has caused a lot of problems for me. My husband has accused me of being the reason why we've given birth to this child. He sometimes says I am a witch, that is why I gave birth to this child. He has also told me that he is sure that my child inherited autism from my family. My husband's family want my husband to divorce me just because I gave birth to a child with autism. My friends in my community have isolated themselves from me because they think it's due to a curse or witchcraft. That is why I've given birth to an autistic child. Some of my church members have told me that they believe that giving birth to an autistic child may be due to spiritual reasons. I have therefore visited many pastors to pray for healing for my autistic child. When people see me in my community, they laugh at me and my child. I am so depressed and stressed due to this event. How can I deal with this depression and stress? Alright, so let's look at some background to this story. So the first question is, what is autism? So autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder, and it is characterized by problems in social communication or repetitive behaviors and also delays in language development. People with autism may also have intellectual disability. Giving birth to an autistic child can be very stressful in Africa because knowledge and research on autism is very limited. So your husband, who is blaming you for being the cause of giving birth to an autistic child, probably lacks knowledge on what autism is or even what are the causes of autism. Your friends as well, I'm sure, are lacking knowledge on what autism is and what are the causes of autism. That is why they are attributing it to a curse or witchcraft. However, we don't know, or there's not much research on the fact that autism can be caused by a curse or witchcraft. So the question then is, what are some of the possible causes of autism? Research has shown that autism may be caused by the following. Having a family member with autism may increase your chances of giving birth to a child with autism. Again, autism may be caused by genetic mutations. Fragile X syndrome and other genetic disorders may also increase your chances of giving birth to a child with autism. There's also some evidence that older parents have an increased risk of giving birth to a child with autism. Children born with low birth weight also have an increased risk of developing autism. Finally, exposure to heavy metals and environmental toxins can also increase the likelihood of giving birth to a child with autism. Our final question is, how can a parent deal with depression and stress after giving birth to an autistic child in Africa where research and knowledge of autism is limited? Number 1, find support from other parents who have children with autism or any child with intellectual disability. So basically what you have to do is to build a social support network of people who understand what autism is and therefore have positive attitudes towards you. So usually when you build a social support network with parents who have given birth to an autistic child or who have ever lived with an autistic child, they are more likely to show positive attitudes towards you, and this can help to lower your depression because they will not be judgmental like the other people who are saying that you are a witch. That is why you've given birth to an autistic child. Number 2, another thing you can do is to seek professional help from a clinical psychologist who has experience in working with families who have an autistic child. The clinical psychologist can help you and your family to understand what autism is so that you don't blame yourself for giving birth to an autistic child. He or she can also help you to deal with behavior problems associated with autism. With all this progress being made, you will begin to feel better and therefore your depression and stress will go down. My third point for you is that you should change your negative thoughts about autism regardless of what people in your society are saying. Because people in your society and church have attributed autism to witchcraft, to curse, or spiritual reasons, you are more likely to develop negative thoughts, and this will make you more stressed and depressed. For example, you may believe that because you've been cursed, that is why you gave birth to an autistic child. If you can identify and change such negative thoughts or beliefs, you'll begin to feel better about yourself, and your depression and stress would reduce. Number 4, you need to accept and love your autistic child just like you would love and accept any other child. You need to accept your autistic child for who he is. If you accept and love your autistic child for who he is, then all negative things that people are saying at church or in your society will not disturb you. This can help you to deal with your depression and stress associated with autism. Number 5, seek therapy for your autistic child at the hospital to improve his abilities. You will feel good and more positive about your autistic child if you seek therapy to help improve his abilities and help him deal with social communication problems and also delays in language development. This will make you feel good and therefore reduce your depression and stress. Giving birth to an autistic child is not the end of the world. There are many health experts, such as a clinical psychologist and neuropsychologist, a psychiatrist, who can help to improve the abilities of your child and make him function like any other child in the society. Accepting and loving your autistic child is very important. We've come to the end of another episode. Share this video to someone who doesn't know about autism so that we can educate them on autism, so that we can change negative attitudes towards people who give birth to autistic children and also to autistic children themselves. Feel free to send me a story at drdanielmeza@gmail.com without your name. We would read it and try to find solutions together. Let me know if you know any other ideas on how this woman can reduce her depression and stress as a result of giving birth to an autistic child. See you in the next video.